Number 10. 1969 Chevrolet Camaro ZL1. The ZL1 Camaro wasn't just another pony car. It was a machine dealers both admired and feared. Under the hood sat an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8 designed for racing, producing horsepower that exceeded the expectations of any casual buyer. Unlike standard SS Camaros, the ZL1 was difficult to drive at low speeds, barely controllable in tight corners, and prone to overwhelming traction instantly. Dealers quickly realized that this car was a double-edged sword. It was a dream for enthusiasts, yet a potential liability for the inexperienced. Many quietly advised customers to consider the milder SS models, emphasizing that the ZL1 was not for the faint of heart. Some dealers even refused to demonstrate the car's full potential during test drives, fearing accidents or warranty claims. The ZL1 wasn't just a muscle car, it was a warning, a challenge, and a marvel all at once. Number 9. 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88. The L88 Corvette was another car that existed in a universe apart from typical showroom vehicles. Chevrolet deliberately underrated its horsepower, listing it at 430 when in reality it produced well over 500. It required high-octane fuel, a skilled hand on the accelerator, and constant attention to keep it operating safely. Dealers knew exactly what this car could do, and they also knew the consequences of handing it to someone unprepared. Selling an L88 wasn't just a transaction, it was a responsibility. Dealers were often hesitant to explain the full scope of the engine, instead carefully selecting buyers they believed could handle the beast. If someone misused the car or damaged it, underestimating its power, the dealership would inevitably face backlash. The L88 was fast, uncompromising, and terrifying in its honesty, a dealer's nightmare and an enthusiast's holy grail. Number 8. 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 LS6. The LS6 Chevelle represented the pinnacle of big block excess. With a factory rating of 450 horsepower and over 500 pounds-feet of torque, this car delivered violent straight-line acceleration that few could control. Dealerships quickly learned that young buyers often underestimated the machine. Insurance concerns were high, test drives could end in black tire marks and broken confidence, and even seasoned drivers struggled with wheel spin and sudden surges of power. Many dealers warned customers in detail about handling, while others avoided promoting the LS6 altogether. Selling it required not just paperwork, but a frank conversation about responsibility. The LS6 Chevelle didn't care about safety or subtlety, it was a raw expression of muscle, and dealers were caught between wanting to sell it and fearing the repercussions of its extreme performance. Number 7. 1968 Dodge Dart Hemi Superstock. Few cars were more intimidating than the Hemi Dart. Compact, lightweight, and packing a 426 Hemi under the hood, it was built to dominate superstock drag racing. Dealers quickly realized that most buyers didn't understand the car's capabilities or maintenance needs. Selling one required explaining gearing, power delivery, and the demands of a street-legal drag car. These cars were not forgiving. A casual launch could break tires, stress the drivetrain, and terrify the driver. Some dealerships treated the Hemi Dart more like race equipment than a consumer vehicle, carefully selecting buyers who had prior experience with high-performance machines. The Hemi Dart reminded everyone involved that not all muscle cars were meant to be friendly. Number 6. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The Daytona combined raw horsepower with radical aerodynamics designed for NASCAR dominance. Its massive nose cone and towering rear wing weren't just for looks, they were engineered to slice through the air at high speed. Dealers quickly noticed that the car's behavior at low speeds could be unsettling for inexperienced drivers. With the car's extreme engine, and unique body geometry, the Daytona required patience, skill, and a clear understanding of what it was built for. Insurance companies were already wary, and some dealers hesitated to sell it unless they believed the buyer could handle both the speed and the responsibility. The Daytona wasn't a car, it was a statement, and a potentially dangerous one if misunderstood. Number 5. 1969 Chevrolet COPO Camaro. The COPO Camaro was born from loopholes in GM's internal ordering system, allowing massive engines in lightweight Camaro bodies. The result was a street car that acted more like a drag strip rocket. Dealers often treated COPO Camaros with extreme caution. They had to identify serious buyers who understood the car's capabilities and were prepared for the responsibility. Even a minor misstep could result in broken axles, stripped gears, or a skid through the parking lot. Some dealerships refused outright to sell them to inexperienced buyers, knowing full well that handing over one of these COPO machines without proper instruction could end disastrously. Number 4. 1970 Plymouth Superbird. The Superbird was visually extreme, and dealers knew it. Its massive rear wing, elongated nose cone, and NASCAR-intended design made it an unusual product for the showroom. Customers often didn't understand what they were buying, and the performance was aggressive enough to terrify anyone not used to racing machines. Dealers had to explain insurance implications, handling quirks, and engine behavior in detail. Many approached the sale cautiously, aware that buyers could quickly find themselves overwhelmed. The Superbird combined attention-grabbing looks with track-focused performance, and dealerships weren't always comfortable delivering that level of power into the hands of the unprepared. Number 3. 1969 Ford Mustang Boss 429. The Boss 429 was barely controllable in normal driving conditions. Its massive, high-revving engine made the front end heavy, shifted the center of gravity unexpectedly, and produced sudden bursts of power that required precise throttle control. Dealers recognized that the car was more of a street-legal race car than a traditional pony car. They often warned buyers extensively, tried to steer inexperienced drivers toward other Mustangs, and occasionally refused sales outright if they believed the customer couldn't manage it. The Boss 429 demanded respect, and anyone taking it lightly risked disaster. Dealers knew that, and they weren't always eager to facilitate accidents. Number 2. 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda. The Hemi Cuda arrived at a time when muscle cars were under growing scrutiny. Insurance premiums were skyrocketing, emissions regulations were on the horizon, and public opinion was beginning to shift against extreme performance. Dealers feared selling such a potent, high-strung machine to buyers who were unprepared for the consequences. The Hemi Cuda was capable of accelerating faster than most cars could handle on public roads. Even experienced drivers had to respect its power. Some dealerships held these cars back or sold them selectively, knowing that delivering one carelessly could result in costly accidents, legal trouble, or backlash from insurance companies. The Hemi Cuda reminded everyone that muscle cars were more than just toys, they were dangerous tools when mishandled. Number 1. 1967 Shelby Cobra 427. If any car could strike fear into a dealer, it was the Shelby Cobra. Lightweight, insanely powerful, and nearly devoid of safety features, the 427 Cobra required skill, concentration, and nerves of steel to drive properly. Dealers knew that even one careless test drive could end badly. Many refused to let customers push it to its limits, carefully screening buyers to ensure they understood the machine they were about to own. The Cobra wasn't just intimidating, it was unforgiving. Dealers weren't afraid of selling it because it was unpopular. They were afraid because it was honest about how deadly raw speed could be in the wrong hands. Every sale was a balance between passion and prudence. These 10 cars are reminders that the muscle car era wasn't just about speed and style. It was a time when raw power came first, safety second, and responsibility rested squarely on the shoulders of drivers and dealers alike. Some cars were too extreme for casual ownership, and dealers had to navigate the line between selling dreams and preventing disasters. The era of unrestrained performance created legends, but it also left a trail of cautionary tales, reminding us that not every muscle car was built for everyone. Dealers feared these machines not because they were unpopular, they feared them because they demanded respect.